दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्यक्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। भवजीव्याप्ति यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्ना विराजिता पदम्बुजः वीरन्तम्बुजसूर्यो यस्तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चैतन्य शाश्वत शान्तो व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादाकरातीता तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्ति समारूढा तत्त्वमरा विभूषितः भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्ता कर्मबन्धविदायिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोष ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरुपादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। न गुरुराधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरुराधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानपरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मानत श्री जगन्नाथ मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिरनादिश गुरुपरमदैवतं गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। Sri Swami Vishwananda Bhaje Bhaje 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 Sai Vishwananda Sadguru Sri Swami 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 Vishwananda Guru 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 Sri Swami Vishwananda Guruji Narayana 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 Sri Swami Vishwananda Sadguru Sri Swami Vishwananda Guru Sri Swami Vishwananda Sadguru Sri Swami Vishwananda Guru Sri Swami Vishwananda Sadguru Sri Swami Vishwananda Guru Sri Swami Vishwananda
bhaje.
Sri Swami Vishwananda bhaje bhaje. Sri Swami Vishwananda bhaje bhaje.
Om Avatarshishaya Namaha, Om Vishamaya Namaha, Om Devakali Samujataya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Chinmayaya Namaha, Om Guru Murtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraya Namaha, Om Sulochanaya Namaha, Om Sumukaya Namaha, Om Charvasaya Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Padmabhujaya Namaha, Om Andagamanaya Namaha, Om Charumbaradharine Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, Om Adhirastapakaya Namaha, Om Shri Jivavarchakaya Namaha, Om Gayatri Ashvane Namaha, Om Arpana Srikarakaya Namaha, Om Vishnu Pajakaya Namaha, Om Namo Narayanayiti Mantropasakaya Namaha, Om Swaramayaya Namaha, Om Madhuragantaya Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtanarupaya Namaha, Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha, Om Mitavashine Namaha, Om Vagmine Namaha, Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namaha, Om Vratadaraya Namaha, Om Sadave Namaha, Om Jagatpantaya Namaha, Om Sarvalokaitaya Namaha, Om Bhakta Priyaya Namaha, Om Suridaya Namaha, Om Anukulaya Namaha, Om Neyaya Namaha, Om Sudarshanaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Shubhikshanaya Namaha, Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha, Om Swastidayakaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om Anugrahaya Namaha, Om Vardhanaya Namaha, Om Architaya Namaha, Om Arthaya Namaha, Om Siddhi Pradaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Manoharaya Namaha, Om Akshaya Namaha, Om Sireshwaraya Namaha, Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namaha, Om Atmalingaya Namaha, Om Lingashanabrosakaya Namaha, Om Siddhi Saranaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Karupasakaya Namaha, Om Sukshmaya Namaha, Om Vishukaya Namaha, Om Satvikaya Namaha, Om Samadarshine Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Ashityaya Namaha, Om Niramkaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Chitakrodaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Svavashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Kshamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nivikapaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasantaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhura Swabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Naraye Namaha, Om Sutapaye Namaha, Om Samyaye Namaha, Om Guryaye Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaye Namaha, Om Gabiraye Namaha, Om Guptaye Namaha, Om Atmaramaye Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Jyotidharaye Namaha, Om Danyaye Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaye Namaha, Om Ganaye Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharana Margadashakaya Namaha, Om Kutasna Jagattakaya Namaha, Om Abhiprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, श्रीमोक्षमेकतपावर्तकाय नमः। ॐ प्रेमावतार श्री विश्वानंद स्वामिने नमः। अतो देवा अवन्तु नो यतो विष्णु विचक्रमे त्र्यजीव्य सप्तधामाभिः इदं विष्णु विचक्रमे त्रेधानि तदे पदं समुदमस्य पागुंसुरे त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे विष्णु गोपादाभ्यः अतो धर्माणि धार्येणे विष्णु कर्माणि पश्यत यतो वृतानि पस्पशे इन्द्रस्य युजः सखाः तद्विष्णोः परमं पदगुं सदा पश्यन्ति सूर्यः दिवीव चक्षुरा ततं तद्विप्रसो विपन्यवो जानुवागुं ससमिन्दते विष्णोर्यत् परमं पदम्। ॐ प्रेमावताराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्दः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ प्रेमावताराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्दः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ प्रेमावताराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्दः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समाप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्।
श्री कृष्ण विष्णु मधुसूदन
केतवारे नारायण अच्युत त्रिविक्रम चक्रपाणे जयति सच्चिदानंद श्रीधर वासुदेवा गोपाल कृष्ण हरे तव सुप्रभातम्। श्री रुक्मिणीश भवनाथ हरे मुरारे राधेश गोपीश स्वरूप भवादिवन्द्या श्री बालकृष्ण वैकुण्ठपते भुवने कमोते गोपाल देव हरे तव सुप्रभातम्। नीलाकृते गमनरूप वराहमूर्ते त्रिविक्रमाय भुवने Krishna Jai Tora.
ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह आदि गोविंद सर्वकरण करना गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमां भजामि गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमां भजामि चिंतामणि प्रकर सर्व सुखपरीक्षा सुरवीरविपालयन्ता लक्ष्मी सहस्रशतसम्भ्रमसेव्यमाना गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि जेनुपरन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षं बालावतं समसितं वरसुन्दरङ्गं शोभा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि आनन्दचन्द्रिका सकलमाल्यवंशी रत्नाकरं प्रणयकेलिकराविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियप्रीतिमन्ते पश्यन्ति पन्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सजुष्वरविग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमां भजामि Jai Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Dipachirevani Shankaramam Dupetya, Dipayate Vivita Hetu Samana Dharma, Vyastadrike Vaisha Vishnu Taya Vibhati, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Yakarananavachari bhajati smayoga, Nidramananta Jagananda Saromakopa, Adara Shakti Mavalamya Parasvamurti, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Yasya Kanishvasita Karamatavalambya, Shrivanti Loma Vilajala Gadandanata, Vishnur Mahasaya Yasya Kala Vishesho, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Vasvanyatashma Shakaleshu Niteshu Teja, Zviyam Kriya Prakataya Javidata Tatra, Ramaya Esha Jagadanda Virana Karta, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Yatpara Paravayugam Vinidaya Kumbha, Drodve Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja, Vignan Virantu Malavasya Jagatrayasya, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Agni Vaika Garamambu Maruji Shasha, Kalasatatma Manasi Jagatrayani, Yasma Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamsha, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Yashakshuresha Savita Sakaha Grahanam, Raja Samasta Suramurti Ashesha Teja, Yasyajnayam Pramati Samrita Kala Chakro, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Dharmota Papani Jayashutayastapamsi, Brahmadi Gita Patagama Dayasya Jiva, Yadata Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Yasvinda Gopamata Vendra Mahosvakarma, Bandhana Rupa Parabhajana Hatanoti, Karmani Virati Kinchu Shabhakti Bhajam, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Yam Krodha Kama Saja Pranayati Priti, Vatsalya Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavare, Sanchintya Dasya Sadashita Rama Purete, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadi Radya Govinda Sarvakarana Karana Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami, Govindam Adi Purushantamam bhajami.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, everyone. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 45, verses 35, 36. This is from Balaram and Lord Krishna being in the ashram of Guru Sandipani. Sarvam Nara Varashishto Sarva Vidya Pravartako Sakranigada Matrena Tau Sanja Grahatur Nirpa Ahoratreshtu Sastya Samyato Tavata Kala Guru Dakshina Yacharyam Chandayam Asatun Nirpa. O King, those very best of people, persons Krishna and Balaram, being themselves the original causes of all that you can see, of all the knowledge that we can perceive, they could immediately assimilate each and every subject after hearing it explained only one time. Thus, with a fixed concentration, they learned the 64 arts and skills in as many days and nights. Thereafter, O King, they satisfied their spiritual master, the Acharya, by offering him the proper Guru Dakshina. Sandipani Ashram is in Ujjain, which I think today by train is at least, 12 hours or plus. So, 12 hours from where? From, let's say, Vrindavan. And Krishna, he enters the third stage of his life, because first he was the small Krishna, Bala Krishna, where he was doing all the leelas with the gopis and the demons in Vrindavan. And then he goes on to being the Mathura Krishna, so he goes away from Vrindavan. The leela has ended. The gopis cry heartfully because they know he never comes back. So it's not so much that Mathura is far away and that Krishna would never come back. Mathura is, I think, 20 minutes from Vrindavan today. So even at that time would have been easy just to go back, but it was more like a internal not coming back, because he would move on with his life. It's not that he wanted to live his life, but you also see in the life of Guruji, if I can draw the comparison, that if a stage is over, he moves on. There's no going back. I don't know if we will do ever again baby Jesus Abhishekam on Christmas. Sorry. So that was a time, and it was a time for everything. And now he moves on, even from Mathura, after having slain Kamsa, he moves on to learn under his guru. And as I said in these two verses here, he is learning the 64 arts in 64 days. And just for the interest of our community here, so of course it's listing all the 64 arts, and these are really, I would compare them actually to Waldorf school skills. So it's not like 64 exceptional arts like you learn about astronomy, about physics. These are more science, but these 64 arts, they are super practical. And one of them is Shukha Sharika Pralapanam, knowledge of how to train male and female parrots to speak and to answer the questions of human beings. Just to support the Guruji bird team here. But then you have also others, which is how to test silver and jewels if they are real silver and jewels. You have carpentry. You have knowledge about minerals and stones. How to draw rangoli on the floor. And then there's some others also, like how to play with children's toys. How to enforce discipline with mystic power. How to awake the master in the morning with beautiful music. How to be victorious always. To know the various forms of gambling, etc., etc. So 64 practical arts, and then on top, what they learned is science from the Veda, science including, let's say, how to perform yajna, how to know about Vastu Shastra, how to know about Gandharva Veda, the theoretical and practical application of warfare, strategy, politics. So Krishna, he was really preparing to become a king. And yeah, this is what this is about. And let's say, connecting this a little bit with the stages of his life, and maybe also draw the connection of having the various stages in Guruji's life, because Guruji is very much emphasizing that the time to love is now. No? And what does he mean with that? Of course, you could easily take it out of context and then spam people and say, yeah, the time to love is now. But what does he mean with this? So if you really see that his life is progressing fast, and I don't know what else we will still see as long as he's here around, but just looking at where Bhakti Marga has started, where it came from, 15 years, if you want to go a little bit further of where he actually already started his mission 20 years ago, and you take that development and you extend it with the same proportion into the future, you'll see what I believe is a very solid development of Bhakti Marga. Not, let's say, he was never much about quantity and the numbers, but he was always very much about quality and keeping the Sangha aligned, I would say. And for that he has his various methods of bringing people in and guiding people out of the Sangha, because he wants to create a specific vibe with Bhakti Marga, which is a group, which is a movement of people globally that are really in tune with God. And in these times, I believe it's very strange to be in tune with God, because we're very far away from what he actually means. So in these times, people are very much engrossed in the outside world. We very much believe in short-term pleasure and long-term suffering. Let me reiterate that. I think in this time, the people, including us, we really believe in that because we don't know it differently. We easily like to pay the price of long-term suffering for short-term happiness. Now, if somebody comes and said, let me offer you long-term happiness or eternal happiness for short-term processes of suffering, this is a concept for us mostly difficult to take. Even for the people on this path, I think it's regularly a challenge of where is the threshold of pain for each person? Where is the threshold of each one's mind to really walk this path to the end, to really go these 40 centimeters from the mind to the heart and find that love, that ecstasy inside of us. So he says to love is now. It's not to defer it to later. And with that, we have to move with Guruji because he's moving fast, you know. I think similarly, maybe when he was growing up and he was slowly revealing himself, living as a small boy, as a Bala Vishwananda in Mauritius, for sure, when he was invoking the new time, when he would go to Switzerland for good, or at least to Europe, and the people that were around him in Mauritius, similarly to the gopis and people in Vrindavan, they were very sad because he would not come back. Of course, he would come back visiting, but then it would be very different. Because different stage has started. So in that stage, have you taken the opportunity to love now? And then in the next stage, maybe we all got used to Guruji being in Europe, you know. And you pretty much settle in. We might go into the temptation of believing it's all about SPN and people always coming here. And there's been various theories in the world of how will there be a global crash? How will maybe Mother Earth retaliate and there will be eruptions of volcanoes and earthquakes here and there, etc. And in the end, it comes, but it completely comes a different way than we ever expect. So how did it come? It came with the COVID years of really forcing everyone, and Guruji was, of course, wisely using it, to bring Bhakti Marga and his own life to the next stage. So then he had created a very solid foundation, let's say, here with this ashram. And now it's time to actually, what I would say, is to see Bhakti Marga as the global ashram. We have already physical dependencies in many countries, temples, stable sanghas, people have become brahmacharis, devotees, swamis, swaminis, etc. So there's quite a big team out there already willing to be extensions of Guruji's love. And I don't know when, but the next stage will come. When probably we here, being used to the current stage, we will cry about, oh, he will go away. And I don't mean he will go to America, he will go to, I don't know, Hong Kong, India, whatever. But it is an inside sadness and dying of a time which will not come back, because he will move on. You can see him as many times, you can even move with him, but the time quality of what used to happen now, that will never come back. So have we really seized the opportunity to love now? And from his perspective, I think to love now, it means to, I think to make it short, is to quickly surrender and serve his mission. And that's two things that we are more or less good at. Because if you look at him, how he serves the mission, there is no imperfection and no complaining about it. How many imperfections and complaining about it do we face in our daily seva? So there, to love now is quite a thing. And what about to quickly surrender? No, also there we say, no, let's do it later. Let's do it a little bit today, but then let's do the full Sharanagati later. And then again we fall back into the Kali Yuga pattern of believing that to pay long-term suffering for a little bit of relief today. He says, no, surrender, it's much easier for you. You go with the flow of love and you will not hurt yourself so much. But today, in this zeitgeist, we do believe that actually Sharanagati is I believe, is something to be avoided because it's painful. But it's not true, because the exact opposite is the case, because if you really are in tune with him, things flow so easily. So many blessings come your way, you know. Yeah, to love now. And people still believe, even on this path, that to attain love means to consume his love to the most extent, to the most extreme possible. And to some degree it's true, like if you can be around Guruji, if you can be in the presence, direct presence of the Master, do it. He himself has said, do it. You can digest later. If you have the opportunity now, do it. On the other hand, being around him, also I think we quickly learn that it's not about consuming his love, but it's to get in our own gear of developing effort and love and dedication ourselves. It's like this we really become worthy extensions of him. Like when, I don't know if you would appreciate us sitting around and consuming his love. I think everyone has made their experiences of, no, that's not the case. You have to go pretty swiftly and flexibly in order to contribute yourself. So all of these means actually to love now. And I quickly go now through a list of thoughts that I had about what is actually love for me and how do you do that, you know, to love. Guruji says love is a mystery, and for sure it is. And at the same time, I do believe we meet love every day, or we get a taste of that love. Maybe it's not the highest love, but maybe it's already some taste of love. Just like you go to the marketplace and you receive a taster of some food you want to buy, and you get a taste for that. And so I think golden moments in our day, everyone, you can see that love is always shining through. You know, You can also say it in the Gita way, that the vibhutis of Lord Krishna, they will manifest in their majesties. But actually I would like to say, if you want to find love, you find it pretty much every day. The first one would be to accept. And I think acceptance is super important, as Guruji also says again and again, because acceptance is one of the few approaches that doesn't go against ourselves. We know maybe from the Christian tradition, I don't know about other religions, how you beat yourself up and you say you're so bad and you're a sinner. Guruji's take on that would be, you become a sinner if you think that way. So he's more and more introducing this culture of accept how you are, with all the good and not so good sides. Maybe you can even start to accept that you don't want to accept yourself. It's the only way how you don't go hostile against yourself. It is the only way how you can start something real and how you actually put love now into practice by accepting yourself, even if you cannot accept yourself or your life fully, but at least to some extent. For example, today you can accept that you are unhappy with a certain thing, that you are not able to do a certain thing, or you can accept that if somebody tells you you're good at that you actually accept that also. Whereas before you say, no, I'm not good at that, But why not accept that? A second thing, a facet of love would be, what Guruji equally says is important, is this sincerity. And I think it would be amazing if everyone would be sincere. I think we're not. Because it's too much in the culture still, maybe in 5 years will be different, but it's still too much in the culture that mostly we are afraid to be sincere. Mostly to say what you really feel about something or someone. I think for most of us, it's still equal to fear. Because when we grew up as children, there was no culture of sincerity. So if you say how things really are, then the danger was pretty high that you get beaten up. And for a kid, that means death. So to learn how to say how you feel about certain things, what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like, and how things really are, that is also a new thing, but it's a facet of love. And we are all getting there. And Guruji, by his love, he is endorsing it. He is helping us to be more and more how we are. Bhakti Marga is not like a machine where everyone becomes the same, but it's much more like a cultural field where everyone becomes how they can truly be, Third point would be that love, you find it, what I call, behind the wall of despondency. So Krishna, he talks about despondency, which is to complain, it's to make ourselves small, it is to cry in front of challenges. This is chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita. So in Sanskrit you say Vishada. So Arjuna Vishada, it means the complaining or the crying of Arjuna. And this energy, this strength that love actually is to do what you have to do, to handle your daily challenges, that energy that makes you actually be able to handle all these things, to deal with all kinds of people and problems, and still you feel you are on top of things, that's love. That capacity to handle life is love. But you have to go across this wall or through the wall of despondency, because that's also a fact that Krishna says that everything is wrapped up in desire, and the desire causes ignorance. And the ignorance, it manifests itself in the way that you think, I can't do this, I'm not good for this, or some associated pain from the past comes up. If you really want to go into that courage to love, we have to traverse this wall of despondency. And it's not just words. It's not just words. It's the most real thing that we have to go through these things. That's why Krishna, he starts the chapter, or the Gita, with this first chapter of how you have to get started on going through your own things, because that's also Kali Yuga culture, that we don't go through things. We like to go away or around things. But to go through things, to really look at it, how it is, and then you have all kinds of people around you telling you, you cannot sit around being sad like this, or you cannot sit around, are you okay? No, it's not the culture. So to actually accept that somebody is going through that field of despondency, that's a big thing, you know. And if somebody is really doing that, if somebody is really facing and addressing their things, it's a big step to love now. Gratitude. Swami Nurura, maybe 2 weeks ago in the evening, he talked about it. Gratitude is amazing medicine to be grateful for everything that you have during the day. And he said it in such a inspiring way that he said, be grateful for everything that you have. Today, be grateful for you having problems with that person, maybe. Today, be grateful for that the sun is shining. Be grateful, try to be grateful for everything, and it will completely wash away all negativity. And that's exactly what we want, right? Yeah, to love now. Authenticity. Yesterday I was watching a movie and it was amazing. I mean, it was a movie, but in the movie there were these situations of people being authentic and saying how things were, and they were smiling, they were crying, and they had this connection among each other. And it was amazing, because I realized, like, if you cannot be authentic, you don't breathe. And again, it's such a mentality today that actually nobody is authentic. Everyone is busy trying to cultivate an outside perfect image. And it's okay to the extent that we all need to be professional in what we do and contribute to society, but authenticity, like just be yourself, don't smile if you don't feel like it, don't cry if you don't feel like it, etc. This is such a new thing. But I do believe that if you don't create moments of authenticity, especially to yourself, then you don't breathe. It's like a flower wilting. The moment you create moments of authenticity, you create moments of love, you start breathing again. I think we can't love without being authentic. Love. Sometimes love is also labeled as the opposite of fear. So you can either act out of love or you can act out of fear. Of course, love is also transcending polarities. But in this case, let's say if you daily have the choice, if you want to love now, then it's really the question of, can we allow ourselves to act out of love? Mostly we cannot, because the fear is so strong. The fear of not getting enough, the fear of not being perceived as successful enough, the fear of rejection, the fear of talking in front of people, etc. The fear of death, underlying, fear of disease, fear of loss of love. So many fears that we have, so we automatically go into the fear and then we don't go into the love, you know. But if you see it in that way, that you should move all your attitudes shifting towards acting out of love, then it could be that you allow yourself to not be afraid, that you actually dare to talk here. Just as an example. Yeah, we love when we are not egocentric. I think that's very important, because also most of the people, and I would say even most of people, still entering this path of bhakti, we all come to Guruji with egocentric desires. And he is very gracefully and very generously allowing that to happen, for us to at some point see what's happening. We all come, and even Krishna says in the Gita, that's okay. Then you are also my devotee. If you come, you want wealth, you want knowledge, you want relief of disease, or you want me, myself, that's all very good. But really is like a symptom of love is when you're not egocentric. If you want to see if somebody loves you, well, I think what Guruji very often does, he puts you through a situation of, can you be God-centric? Or can you be centric on the person that you care for? You have, let's say, a woman and a man living together. One of the two, they end up in hospital, and you need to dedicate time for that. And maybe also there, the ego, it rebels, and you want your old life back, but then somebody needs help. Like, it shows in these situations if you love someone or not, if it's about that person or it's about ourselves. And that has nothing to do, let's say, when you have a problem and you run around maybe with a sad face, and then you know this phenomenon when all the people around you in your life, they suddenly have great recipes how to help you, you know? Or take this pill, or I know a good meditation, maybe you should do this, should do that. All people suddenly have their own good opinions how to help you. I think that's also partially egocentric, excuse me. Because it's mostly the people, they just want to say what they know, you know? I think nobody really cares, except a few. Okay. Also, and I think then I'm closing satsang soon, is when you learn to say yes or no to a person because it helps them, it protects them. So Guruji, I was in India with him, I asked him, can I have a Govardhan stone, you know, from the Krishna mountain? He said no. And immediately I felt, thank you, you know? No reason, like no big conversation, but I felt it. It's maybe not the right thing for me. I asked him and he confirmed to say no. And I immediately knew he does that to protect me. So whenever somebody, or of course Guruji himself, he is allowing or not allowing something, even it can be harsh, then for sure it's out of love because he's protecting us. Maybe the last one, and love is vulnerability. So I think to love now, it means actually, to see that we are not the big warriors, the big knights yet that can handle everything, but you become to some extent honest about what you can do and what you cannot do. And Guruji puts that in the words of to surrender to fellow devotees. You really need to listen, or we really need to listen to what is the feedback of the Sangha. And most of us, we think we are great. And that the rest of the Sangha is not so great. And I don't say that out of a judgment, but I think it might be different maybe 5 or 7 years from now, where we actually learn to value each other more and to really listen, to integrate the feedback that we receive. Because this is also something that I, for now, see is like we're all great at doing our puja, doing the mantras, etc. But if somebody is giving you feedback, are you able to actually take it? Listen and do it accordingly, because you know maybe Guruji told you through that person. We are not there yet, but that's what Guruji would like most, to surrender to fellow devotees. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
जगदीश हरे यतीन्द्राय करुणाकराय
करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो बरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक गोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विधि मिलो दयामय किस विधि मिलो कृपामय तुमको मैं गुमती ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे करुणा हाथा बढ़ाओ करुणा हाथा बढ़ाओ शरण पना तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पापारो देवा स्वामी पापारो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे तन मन धन सब है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे मन जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी मन जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी जागर राखो जागर राखो जागर राखो जी जागर राखो जागर राखो जागर राखो जी माने जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी श्याम मने जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गोविंद मने जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी गिरधारी लाला जागर राखो जी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव गोविन्द असतो मा सत्तमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम प्रेम से बोलो लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय श्री बुद्धप्रतेश्वरनाथ भगवान की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया की जय माता प्रिय बाबूजी की जय श्री रमणोचार्य की जय प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वनाथ महाप्रभु की जय ओम क्रीम कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय परम पुरुषाय परकर्म मंत्र यंत्र तंत्र औषधस्त्र शस्त्राणि समरा समरामि मोचान ओम नमो भगवते सुदर्शनाय दिव्य ज्वला परिताय सर्वैश्वरामुपत परस्मै परम ब्रह्मणे परम ज्योतिषे स्वाहा ओम शांति 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Jai Jai